Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing very well. So today I'm here to do a testing video for one of the new PLouise eyeshadow bases, and this is in the shade Keeping It Khaki. So I first got this in her budget box that came out last month. In that box I did a review video on it as well. So you got multiple different items, and then you got two exclusive cosmetic bases which are now available to purchase. So I didn't actually get to give this a try, so I thought today I would do that now. So I'm also going to be using her date night palette because the shades in there is going to be great for a transition shade. So I've got my trusty sellotape on, so you know I'll be doing the eyes first. So let's get on to the eyes. So like I said, we're going in with the date palette. There's two eyeshadows that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be using Blind Date, which is this one just here, and then there's a shimmer which I'll be using afterwards. So I'm going to go in with Blind Date first and then go in with my base, and then we'll see how we go with that. So let's pray I don't mess it up, because when it comes to these eyeshadow bases, I'm terrible at using them. I'm also going to be using one of the brushes that came with the set, which is part of the PLouise's cancelled brush set basically. So I'm taking one of my BH Cosmetic brushes. It just says number 8. I don't know what that means, but it came as a set as well. So let's go in with Blind Date, which is a green, kind of like a greeny dark. So we are going to be using that on the transition. So that's going on top of my eyelid, just everywhere, to be honest. And I have used this palette so many times, and I really love this palette. It is, I believe it was about 19 pounds, which is freaking great, because a lot of her eyeshadow palettes, the bigger ones, tend to be quite expensive. But this came out as like part of a collection, so she did come out with a big selection of eyeshadow palettes, but I thought this one appealed to me the most because of that red. And I have used this palette, like I said, on my channel a few times. I think I did a review just on this palette itself, so try and check that out if you want to. And I have tried so many PLouise bases before that I purchased from her website, and I kind of can't remember when her next budget box is going to be out, because she did mention that there is going to be an exclusive eyeshadow palette in there. So I'm sure a lot of people will be after that just as much as I am. So let's go now in with the cosmetic base. So I'm going to be using it from here and outwards, let's hope. So what I tend to do first is use somewhat on the back of my hand, just because it's easier to just blend it, and it won't become too clumpy. So just taking like a pea size amount, that's probably even way too much, but I like to just pile it on. I don't know why, that's probably why I mess it up a lot. So I'm going to take this flat brush and I'm just going to tap it in, just so again it's kind of just, there's an equal amount. So I'm going to start here and work my way out. I apologize if my my mirror gets in the way, have a tendency to do that. So I'm just going to take it very carefully and just blend it out. So almost the first shade is still there and it's poking out, so it's working well as a transition. And when I see the kind of artists use this, they tap. I'm not very good at doing that. I have a tendency of just dragging, so that's probably why sometimes a lot of the products that I use don't come out right. But so far this is coming out really nicely, and I like the fact that this brush is a nice angled brush as well, so it will glide nicely into my lid also. So let's do that here. And with these bases as well, like, you can use them on your eyes, you can use them anywhere on your face, to be honest. That's what they kind of indicate, and that means on your lips as well. I'm not going to use this on my lips because this shade is probably not right for my lips, my kind of lip tone, but I still really like the fact that these bases can be used basically anywhere. So that's pretty handy. And the other ones that I have used previously are absolutely gorgeous, and I do love them. I just am not great at applying these type of products, but we're learning. Okay, so I like the corner to be quite straight. I have a tendency of, like, when I do use the sellotape, I want it to be as sharp as possible, just so it has that nice jagged edge for when I apply foundation, and it's looking much more neater. So as you can see, there's still a ton left on my hand, but obviously I'm not going to use it all because that'll just be overkill. So again, this has gone on like super nicely. There's no issues at all. I might have to go back in with the Blind Date shade again, just to kind of blend it in a bit more. It is very pigmented, like you can see it amazingly. So what I'm going to do now is, let's go back into the palette. Actually, what I want to do, I want to clean this off first because I don't want to make a mess. Okay, so now that the mess has gone, because I have a, you know, when previously I've tried some of the other ones, they do tend to stain a lot if they stay on your hand for quite a while. So maybe as soon as you're done, I would definitely use a wipe or something to get rid of them. So I'm going to go back in with Blind Date just so we can just darken up just a tad, because as a transition shade it does stand out quite a lot, but it does seem just slightly faded. So I'm going to go now with a flat brush and use use After Dark, and I'm thinking of doing it kind of inwards as well, and maybe, actually, how should I do it? I'm kind of thinking if I should do it more on the outer corner and just blend it in. Yeah, I'll do that. So I'm going to take my flat brush that picks up so much. So because this palette is so pigmented as well, be very careful. So I'm just going to tap this on as well, and the shades are very similar, for it to be like a khaki green. So just tapping it on, and you can see that the shimmer is picking up really nicely. And I haven't let this set for that long because they do dry very quickly on the eyes. So I'm just settling this in. I tend to just put it everywhere now, but you can see that it does work really nicely. So we're just going to do that on this side and tap in, tap in, tap in. And yeah, that's gorgeous. I kind of feel like the transition shade needs to be just a little bit darker. It looks a little bit dirty. I don't know if that's just me. But at least, I mean, it makes these stand out quite a bit, so that's pretty handy. So I'm liking this so far. Surprisingly, my skills are, you know, it's just more about taking your time. With me, I just like boom, 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 getting everything done, but everything is looking really nice so far. So I'm gonna do the rest of my face just off camera, because I'm just using my Project Pan items, because that's what I really tend to do. Is if I'm not doing a full face, I'll just use my Project Pan, and yeah, I'll get the sellotape off, so when I'm back I will have a full face. Hello, so I have the rest of my face on, and yeah, again, like I said, every time I use the sellotape it really helps to define the wing. So I'm really happy the way that it has come out. If you want to know what I'm using on the rest of my mug, then I always leave it in the description. But you know, everything is my Project Pan, apart from the lips, which is one of the new NYX lingerie liquid lipsticks, which is amazing. And I do hope it works really well with these eyes. I never really know what to use with like a green kind of eyeshadow, but I really like the way this has turned out. Again, the PLouise bases are only £10, so that's really, really good, and these are going to last you a really long time. Even if you don't buy any of the coloured ones, even using the normal bases as a eyeshadow base, they help the pigments so much, and they do really help last the eyeshadow on the eyes for a really long time. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I film and upload every time I get a chance to. Don't forget to follow me on any of my social medias, because I'm always active on there. always saying hi, always, you know, following back, etc. But thank you so much. I hope you're having a good week, and I'll hope you see you in the next one. Bye bye.